Hey guys, what's up? My name's Kayla from Planning with Kay, and welcome to another video. Now, I know I'm a bit later than usual this month, considering it's already, oh my god, the 29th. It's already the 29th when I'm filming this, but today I'm going to be finally setting up my July spreads in my bullet journal. Now, I asked you guys in June's Plan With Me video what theme you wanted to see for July, and you guys overwhelmingly suggested watermelons. You know that I always choose my monthly theme based on your guys' comments, so be sure to leave your suggestions for next month's theme in the comments below. And if I pick your suggestion, your comment will get featured in my next Plan With Me video. So, per your guys' overwhelming request, I'm going to be setting up my July spreads using my new Watermelon and Watermelon Blossom monthly sticker collection, which includes this monthly kit, a matching decorative sheet and a matching functional add-on sheet, and finally an extra watercolor style sheet as well, all of which are available in my Etsy shop. This is also super exciting for me because this is now the 12th monthly kit that I've released since opening my Etsy shop 1 year ago. So I now have a full year of monthly kits, which is a milestone that I'm really excited about. So to celebrate this, I'm going to be offering a limited 12-month bundle deal in my shop where you can get all 12 monthly kits for a 20% reduced price of $48. Now, I'm only going to have 40 of these bundles available for sale. So if you want a full year's supply of sticker kits for 20% off, hurry over to my shop before those run out. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, I'm going to start this off by first flipping through my June spreads in my bullet journal. That way you can see what last month looked like compared to this next month. So last month's spreads were camping themed, as you may remember from my June plan with me, and I started off with this really simple monthly calendar spread with just a simple little spot for my monthly goals at the bottom. This ended up working really well for me, but I am planning on sort of jazzing this spread up a bit for July. After that is my standard daily review spread, which again works super well for me, but I'm also going to be rebooting this spread a little bit for July. After that is my monster habit tracker, which took over the entire spread with all of these habits, and while this did work for me, I ended up feeling like it was a little bit overkill, as some of the habits on here just felt sort of useless to track as the month went on. So I'm going to be scaling this back a little bit. And finally, my budget and gratitude pages for June, which in all honesty were a total flop. As you can see, I basically just stopped using both of these pages less than halfway through the month, just because I didn't enjoy filling either of them out. It was basically that simple. So because of that, I'm going to be ditching both of these pages for next month and introducing something a bit different instead. So after that, we just have all of my weekly logs, daily logs, and collections throughout the end of May and then the entirety of June. I started things off with the camping theme sticker collection, which I absolutely adored, and after that I moved on to work mostly with the peony sticker collection that I released in the middle of this month, and finally I finished things off with that watermelon collection that I most recently designed. I definitely was very conscious this month about mixing things up throughout all of June as far as my weekly and daily formats go, and that's probably why I have such an itch to keep kind of mixing things up for my July monthly spreads. I mentioned this on Instagram, but my favorite part of bullet journaling is just the total freedom to change what you're doing and experiment with new layouts and styles at any given moment. So even though my normal layouts still work perfectly fine for me, I really enjoy working with new spreads and just keeping things fresh and exciting in my journal so that I don't get bored. Alright, so that's it for my June spreads, and it also marks the end of my 4th completed bullet journal. I can't believe that it's already that time again, as I only have a few spreads left in this lavender Scribbles That Matter journal that I've been using since February, which means that July is going to be my first month in my 5th bullet journal. You can also bet that because of this, I am going to have a flip through video and a migration video coming very soon to my channel. So for my next journal, I am opting for the exact same one that I've been using, the Scribbles That Matter Pro, but this time in this beautiful periwinkle blue color. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open and get started setting up my July spreads. So I've decided that I want to start including cover pages as a part of my monthly setup every month from now on. I made one in my last video, which was my July peony themed plan with me, and I just had a lot of fun with it. So I'm starting off the month of July with a watermelon cover page that says, "Life is Sweet, July 2018. And to start this page off, I'm going to be using a technique that I will carry through my entire July setup, which is where I use washi tape to get these really clean lines of color. All I did was cut a piece of washi tape in half long ways, and then I used those 2 pieces of tape to outline a block in my journal, and finally I fill in that space with a Tombow dual brush pen. So while I set up this cover page, I want to take a second to just showcase some of your guys' bullet journal spreads that you've tagged me in on Instagram over the last month, either using my stickers or inspired by one of my spreads. I love being able to see your guys' creations, like your photos, and give you a little deserved shout out in my Plan With Me videos. So if you happen to create something using my stickers or inspired by my own spreads, be sure to post it on Instagram and tag me in the picture so that way I can see it and possibly include your spread in next month's Plan With Me. So next up, I'm setting up my main monthly calendar spread for July, starting off with a big green header at the top. I'm then using a green Crayola brush pen along with the little monthly overview sticker to make the header that says July monthly overview. For the calendar itself, I'm switching things up a bit this month, so each day here is going to get a box that is 4 spaces wide by 5 spaces tall, leaving 19 spaces on the right-hand side. I'm then using the top row of each box as a spot to write the date, first coloring in each row using that same washi tape technique from before, and I decided to alternate colors with this pastel pink, green, and yellow to match the color scheme of the stickers. All 3 of these colors are Tombow dual brush pens that I'll be using throughout this entire setup, and the pink is 772, the green is 243, and the yellow is 991. After those are all colored in, I'm then just using my Tombow mono drawing pen to write in all of the dates. Next up, I'm going back in with the washi tape and the green Tombow to create a stripe across the page, over which I'm going to lay in these circular weekly headers for my calendar. So this is where I'm really changing things up this month. On the right, I'm going to create a section for weekly tasks, which are things that don't necessarily fall on a specific day, but they are specific to that particular week. So to do this, I'm creating 2 columns running down the height of the calendar, each one being 8 boxes wide, and I'm then creating a dividing line between each week. I'm then using one column for Patreon-specific weekly tasks and the other column for all other weekly tasks. I'm hoping this addition here makes it super easy to see what things I have to get done each week compared to just a general task list for the month, which has never really worked for me. And then when that week actually approaches, I can decide what specific days I want to actually get those tasks done. So to finish off the spread, I'm using a red Crayola, the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, and that same yellow Tombow from before to letter in a quote that says, "Strive for progress, not perfection," which is a piece of advice that I think is incredibly valuable, especially for anyone who wants to start bullet journaling or is trying to learn how to do brush lettering, improve your handwriting or drawing skills, or really for anyone who's striving to learn anything new. It's really easy to get hung up on not being perfect or get caught in that terrible toxic loop of comparing yourself and your work to others, but instead just try to focus on putting in the effort and progressing little by little, day by day. So the next spread I'm setting up is going to be my daily review spread, which is essentially a mood tracker and one line a day hybrid spread. But I'm going to be making some changes this month. So after I create my header at the top the same way I did before, I'm then going to create my daily review section. Since July has 31 days, I'm creating a space that's 30 boxes tall on the left for day 1 through 15, and then a space on the right that's 32 boxes tall for 16 through 31. I'm creating 3 columns on the left side of each page, each one 2 spaces wide, and this is where I'm going to be tracking my mood, my productivity, and my energy levels every day of the month. In my past daily review spreads, it was a lot simpler and I would only track how my day was as a whole, with a color code with 8 or so colors that corresponded to specific moods, like super productive or best day ever. This worked really great, but it was sometimes hard to find a mood that truly encompassed my day when I only have 8 very specific moods to choose from. And it was also sort of difficult to tell at a glance what my month was like since the colors just randomly corresponded to a certain mood. So I'm hoping that this modified layout will provide a more accurate summary of the month and be easier to read at a glance. So to help this whole thing out, I'm changing my color code to a simple scale, yellow being the worst mood, least productive, and least amount of energy, all the way to blue, which is the best mood, most productive, and most energetic. So moving right along, I'm going to set up my July habit tracker. Like I mentioned, my June habit tracker, while totally effective, had a few too many habits for my liking. So I'm going back to this layout that I have done previously, where the habit tracker is oriented just normally on the spread, spreading across the 2 pages. I'm grouping my habits into different sections, which is why I'm dividing this habit tracker into 5 different chunks, and I'm using that pink horizontal number strip from the Monthly Kit add-on sheet to label the days on the top of the tracker. To match that pink strip, I'm then also going in with the light pink Tombow dual brush pen to color in every other habit line, which also creates some nice separation between all of my habits on the list. I'm then going to finish off the spread with a bunch of watermelon and watermelon blossom stickers around the edges, along with the words "Summer Lovin'" at the top, since this whole theme was just screaming summer to me. And of course, I'm going to fill in all of my habits for the month. So after that, I decided to create a totally new spread for me, one that I've never done before, which I'm calling my monthly snapshot. While my daily review definitely provides a super accurate, technical, day-by-day summary of what I did during the month, I've been craving something that summarizes my month in a more qualitative way, not by what I literally did day by day, but rather by the things that aren't necessarily captured in my daily review. Things like what I was really into that month, what my favorite moments were, what I learned or took away from the month. Basically things that can only really be decided after the month has passed and you're able to look back and reflect on it as a whole. So that's why I created this monthly snapshot spread. So my monthly snapshot basically has 4 sections, and each section has a few more specific categories, all of which I will fill out at the end of July. The memory section is where I will jot down my favorite memory from the month, as well as one thing that I learned that month. Favorites is where I'm going to keep note of all of my favorite things that month. What music I was really digging, 1 or 2 TV shows that I watched or discovered, my favorite movie that I watched, and then my favorite discovery of the month, which can be anything I want it to be really. I then created a section called Social, which is where I'm going to record my Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon stats at the start and end of the month. And finally, a section for the future, which is all about preparing for the upcoming month. I have a spot for what I'm most excited for, a space for what I'm most nervous about, and finally, something that I want to learn in the following month. I'm hoping that this spread provides me with a fun way to reflect on the entire month that has passed, and also will be a really fun page to look back on in the future to see a quick snapshot of what I was thinking, feeling, and doing in the month of July. Finally, as always, I'm gonna finish my setup with a first weekly spread of July. I'm just starting off with a stripe of pink at the top, and I'm then laying in the 7 little watermelon stickers on the left side for my daily sections, giving each day a space that is 5 boxes tall. I'm then gonna use these cursive weekly headers from the watermelon kit, along with some green number circles that I sell separately in my shop, to finish off the daily headers for the week. I'm then going to divide the space in half, one side for my personal day-specific tasks for the week, and the other for any professional day-specific tasks. On the right, I'm starting off by dividing the page in half with a green stripe, pasting in some decorative stickers over the top of that. These 2 halves of this page are going to be my 2 general task lists for the week, which as usual, I'm splitting into professional and personal as well. For those headers, I'm starting off by making a yellow stripe on the top and bottom of the page, and I'm then just lettering in those headers with the red Tombow dual brush pen in the color 847. Since I had some extra space that I knew I wouldn't need for my task lists, and I didn't think that just slapping in some more watermelons was really fitting, I threw in one of my watercolor quote stickers on the lower left. And finally, I just drew in all my little check boxes for my task lists, filling them in with the pink Tombow. So now that I'm done with this entire setup, all that's left to do is go back and fill in my calendar for the month, writing in all my bills and day-specific events or tasks in the calendar, and all of my weekly tasks in the appropriate space on the right. And that's the end of my July bullet journal setup, which may I say is my ultimate favorite setup that I've done to date. I'm just so in love with the color scheme. I think it's the epitome of summer, and just flipping through these pages makes me really happy. This is why I love bullet journaling. I just can't explain it. It just makes me happy to look at it. I love how the colored stripes using that washi tape technique came out and really made all of the spreads come together and match cohesively, and everything just looks so clean and crisp, so I can't wait to start using these spreads in a couple days when July starts. If you also love how these spreads came out and want to create some watermelon themed pages in your own journal, be sure to check out the entire watermelon sticker collection in my shop, and also don't forget to check out the $48 12-month sticker kit bundle. Again, I'm only going to sell 40 of those bundles, and once they're gone, they're gone. They're not coming back. So be sure to grab one before it's too late. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, and let me know down below what you think my next monthly theme should be for my August bullet journal spreads. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already at PlanningWithKay, and don't forget to check out the link to my shop, Patreon, and all other social medias in the description below. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.